the government just became a corporation, not as a metaphor, but as a matter of public record. The satirical movie Idiocracy imagined a future where the state and big business were impossible to tell apart. At the time, people laughed. Today, it reads like a memo from the present. Over the past 18 months, Washington has taken direct ownership stakes in 26 companies across 9 industries. It holds 15% of the only rare earth mine in America, nearly 10% of Intel, a golden share in U.S. Steel. It has put $23.9 billion of public money into equity, with the legal green light to deploy $205 billion more. Private partners, J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, a Middle Eastern sovereign fund, piled in another $4.75 billion alongside it. So ask yourself who the government works for now. When the state owns a slice of Intel, it has a direct financial interest in Intel stock price going up. When it guarantees a buyer for a company's output at a set minimum price, it has a direct interest in that company's revenue. The government isn't a neutral referee anymore. It's a player in the market with a portfolio to manage and returns to hit. Look at how the mechanism actually works. The old model was a grant or a loan and a prayer. This new model is 2 tools layered on top. First, direct equity. The government doesn't just subsidize a company, it owns a piece of it and rides the upside when the value climbs. Second, offtake agreements and price floors. The government promises by contract to buy the output at a minimum price for years ahead. The rare earth miner the government part owns now has a 10-year price floor of $110 a kilogram, locked in writing. That's not hope. That's a guaranteed customer. And the Intel stake cost $8.9 billion at $20 a share. 8 months later, it was worth roughly $36 billion, a 300% return, one of the most profitable government bets in industrial history. Here's the part that should worry you most. The same agency that is supposed to police a company now owns a chunk of it. The same hand that writes antitrust rules has a financial reason to look the other way. That is not a conflict of interest by accident. It is the design. When the government is a shareholder, it gains every incentive to shield the companies it owns. More bailouts, sweeter contracts, lighter rules. The people who get protected are the ones at the top of the cap table, not the ones punching the clock. And notice what this is not. It is not the public seizing the means of production. It's the opposite. The state has been absorbed into the logic of the market. It talks about itself like a sovereign wealth fund and tracks its moves like a portfolio. You, the citizen, have been quietly rebranded as a shareholder, except you don't get the dividends and you never got the vote. The risks are socialized. The rewards are privatized. When the bet pays off, the insiders cash out. When it fails, the bill lands on your taxes. This is a machine for moving wealth upward, and it wears the seal of the treasury while it does it. None of this happened in one jump. The 2008 bank bailouts set the precedent of the government taking equity in private firms. The CHIPS Act pushed it into semiconductors. The quantum computing deals of 2026 spread it across the tech sector. Each step was sold as temporary and exceptional. Each step made the next one easier. Now the question analysts ask is not whether the government should own companies. It's which sector comes next and who the public market proxies will be. If this pattern bothers you, it should. Follow for the next breakdown and share it with someone who needs to see it. Because the more of us connect the dots, the harder it gets to ignore. Please like, comment, follow, share. It really helps out. Until next time, comrades.